I,
Awesome.
I have no clue
Hey,
what this is doing.
I don't know what's going on. But hi.
So today we're going to be talking about your book called Disappear. So can you tell us a little bit about the book, like what the core idea and the single image for the first spark in the concept for Disappear?
Sure. So I write young adult horror or middle grade horror, and Disappear came about. I was watching an episode of The Brady Bunch, like you do, and there was an episode where the middle brother wanted to be a magician. And he did this trick. He wanted to do the trick called the disappearing lady. And his little sister thought the woman was going to actually disappear. And she'd be gone. And she was scared and she didn't want to do it. And so I thought to myself, well, that's a fun concept. What if she didn't come back? What if she did actually disappear? So that's where the book came from. The Brady
Oh,
Bunch. Yeah.
oh wow. Oh wow. The Brady Bunch,
Right.
that's kind of a different twist on it.
From Brady Bunch to horror. Thank you. That's how my brain works. Yes.
Oh man. So the book cover features a hand reaching from behind the glass doors. What specific mood or feeling was you trying to capture the story
Uh,
with?
so what happens in the book is that Dustin is a magician. He's up and coming and going to be on kind of like America's Got Talent. Like he's going to be the next big thing, right? And his assistant is his girlfriend Jane, and he introduces the new trick, the disappearing lady, and so this is and when she gets in the box she disappears and he gets blamed and they think he's done something to her. So the image is this is supposed to be the disappearing cabinet, and then she's like reaching through the disappearing cabinet because she's disappearing.
Man, this is
Yeah.
interesting. I have it on my Kindle Unlimited, so I can't wait to
Oh,
read it.
oh good.
I do have it on my Kindle. I'm reading it. That's on my to be read list for this year. But
Right, which of course
wow.
I'm sure is super long, like mine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have like 4 or 5 pages.
Right.
So, what kind of research did you have to do for this book? I know it came from the Brady
The
Bunch,
Brady
but
Bunch.
did you have to do any research?
So yeah, once I got into writing it, I this one, a lot of my books and all of my books have a paranormal element about them, but this one had some real world things that I didn't know a lot about. One being interrogation in an actual police station. Like, how does that work? What are they allowed to ask? What and Dustin's 17, so I was like, is he allowed to be interrogated without his parents there? So I had to do a lot of research into that. There were also things I had to do about hospitals, like how do hospitals work? Like what are the things that can and can't happen? And obviously you can bend the rules when you're working in the paranormal world, but I also like for it to be set in reality as much as possible. So that was kind of fun doing a lot of that research. Oh, and magic. I had to look up how the magic trick worked. How did the disappearing lady work? Which I hate to do. I love the surprise of magic, but I was just like, well, I got to know how this one works. So, and luckily in this day and age, the internet will tell you exactly how magic tricks work.
Man, so was there any particular theme you wanted to explore with Disappear, like loss, identity, or isolation, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think definitely for Dustin, the main character, I wanted him to. It was just kind of feeling like he was alone and uh, scared. He was scared. Because in at first they think that he has done something to Jane, so he gets arrested. He gets interrogated. He thinks, what's going to happen to me? I mean, obviously he's scared for Jane, but he's also like, what's happening to me? I didn't do anything, but nobody believes me. And then she does come back. That's not a spoiler because it says so right on the back of the book. But she does come back, but she's not quite right. And Jane is his one person in the world. Like, he doesn't really have great friends outside of her. So now not only is he scared about what's going on, but now he's isolated. He doesn't have someone to confide in because that was her, and now she's not quite acting right. So, it's him just trying to figure out what's going on.
Wow, I can't wait. This is getting me all excited. They need to make this a movie.
I'm all for it.
So is there a single scene in Disappear that was based on vivid dream or real life observation?
Not really. I think, I guess some of the settings are places I've been. The hospital was our hospital here that, if you have to go to, it's the one you're going to see. But yeah, everything else just kind of, I made it up out of my head. I don't know.
Man, so if you had to describe the genre of Disappear to a new reader in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say horror, mystery, and I guess I would have to throw young adult in there. I know that's 2 words, but just so you know that we're not going to get into too crazy of stuff. Like, we don't have language, we don't have adult situations, just a lot of good scary stuff. And mystery. What's going on, right?
So which character in Disappear was the easiest to write, and which one presented the biggest challenge in terms of capturing their voice?
Easiest would probably be Jane, because she didn't really talk much. I mean, we have some flashbacks, so you kind of get to know her, but once she comes back, she doesn't really talk much. So that was kind of fun. That was more like trying to figure out how to relay what was going on with her without her saying anything. So that was cool. So she was easy, Hardest, I would say probably the detectives, because I wanted them to talk like detectives, and I don't know how detectives talk. I watch a lot of true crime, so that was helpful. But I wanted them to be believable in this crazy thing that was going on,
I kind of want you to tell me everything about the book, but I'm going to read it.
You gotta read it.
Because I want to know what happened to her.
Right. Then we'll talk. Then, reach out and we'll have a conversation. After you've read it. Right.
So this is outside the questions that I have listed for you. What, I don't want you to give it away, but in the book, does it tell us where she went and what happened to
her? Yes. Ish.
It does. Okay.
Ish. But
okay.
Yeah, that's as much as I can say.
So did you ever consider a completely different ending for Disappear before settling on the final version?
I didn't, not the ending. I kind of knew what was going to happen with the ending, but how we got there, like what happened and how it happened, that did change. That kind of went through a couple of different ideas before I settled on the end of it. So, yeah, so.
Okay, you didn't want to make it into a trilogy or anything?
Every once in a while I have the thought of continuing it just to kind of, I don't know. No, yes, no, sometimes, but probably not. I don't know.
Man.
I know. I know I have some people who would be like, could you please continue it, please? And maybe someday. I don't know.
So if a reader only took away one major thought or feeling after finishing Disappear, what would you hope it is?
I hope it would be one feeling to take away is just to, I guess, trust yourself. Trust that even when things are going crazy around you, that you know who you are and you know what's going on, and it's okay to be scared and upset. And Dustin cries a lot in this book because he's going through so much, and I didn't want him to be like, I'm not, no, he's scared. It's okay, and that's okay. It's okay to be, especially when you're in some kind of scary situation. It's okay to be scared no matter what. So, yeah. But then, you still got to get through, yeah.
That's true. So do we get to hear a lot from his parents or anything, or their side of anything?
they're there, and they are. I try, not that I don't have parents who aren't the most supportive in some books, but or they just aren't there at all for some reason. But in this one, both Dustin and Jane's parents are there, and they're also going through their own thing, but they're very supportive of Dustin because they've known him. He's been with her, I think I say, for 4 years. So they know him. He's part of her family, she's part of his family. So, they come to his defense and they're there for him. Which has to be hard when it's your own daughter who goes missing, but, and then this whole thing, but they're good people.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Not
So,
huge characters, but yeah.
so in the world of Disappear, what is one unique rule, location, or element that was crucial in the plot's unfolding?
The disappearing cabinet is probably so you got Dustin, you have Jane, then the disappearing cabinet as a character. So it's very important that it's there. Yeah.
Man. So did he this is outside the question. So did he I don't want you to give it away, but I'm asking questions. So did he find the cabinet, or did he buy the cabinet, or
He buys the cabinet. There's a character named Mr. Marvel. He has a Mr. Marvel's Magic Emporium is where Dustin goes to buy all his tricks. And one day he goes in and Mr. Marvel says, I have this new trick and you have this big thing coming up and it's this, so you need this trick because it's huge and everybody will love it. And so he buys the cabinet. Yeah. From Mr. Marvel.
okay?
I like Mr. Marvel. He's a goofy character. I always have at least one goofy character and that's him.
So do you remember the show? I think it was Goosebumps. Either Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark? It kind of reminds me of
I know
that.
both of those. Well, yeah, I still watch them to this day. That's how
I do too. I have all of the seasons of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Right. I love that show. I love that. Well, that's interesting that you should bring that up and, going off topic a little, but that's what I wanted to do when I started writing is I wanted to have a series for kids that was not, I read a lot of young adult books and I read a lot of the newer ones because I hadn't been reading the new stuff. I was still, all the stuff that I used to read as a kid. And a lot of the new stuff doesn't have the rule of PG-13,
Right.
They'll go into R and I'm like, and that's fine. I think, kids read on different levels, watch things on different levels, but I wanted to have a series that says, look, if you're kind of new to reading, if your parents are strict about what you read, but you want to read horror, here's something for you that's not super bloody or there's no, hardly any language, no adult situations. Here you go. These are for you. So that's what I write right now. Future, who knows? Who knows?
I love it. I love it.
So yes, very influenced by R.L. Stine, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, all that stuff. So
Yeah. So can you tell us about one of the supporting characters in Disappear and how their presence elevates?
I think my favorite supporting characters are the detectives. So there's two detectives, Detective Jones and Detective Lawrence. And Detective Jones, she's very by the book. She's very hard-nosed about being a detective, and this is what we do and questions, and you're a perpetrator and blah, blah, blah. And then Detective Lawrence is he's more like, oh my gosh, I'm a detective. This is so cool. I'm new to this and I'm learning so much, So I loved writing them together. I loved them. I think they worked well off of each other. They were good for Dustin, whereas Dustin's kind of all over the place. They're very let's bring it back to the present. What's going on? What's happening? So, and they show up a lot. They're in the book a lot. So it's not just the opening scene where they interrogate him. They're pretty big characters in the book, so yeah.
Okay. So were there any characters you created for Disappear that you had to cut or change?
Yeah, poor character. I always feel so bad. But usually in my books, I try to give the main character a big support system of friends. I got there I am. I want them to have lots of friends or family around that is there to help them through their situation. So at first, Dustin did have a best friend that wasn't Jane. It was a guy friend. I can't even remember what his name was. But eventually, I liked the idea of Dustin feeling isolated in his problem. And if he had a best friend, he wouldn't have had that feeling. It would have been, he could have gone to his friend and dealt with things. And I was like, I don't want him to have that. So
Yeah.
the friend was out. Sorry.
Aw. So what was your process for giving a character a believable backstory without overloading the reader?
Usually when I deal with backstories, well, in this one, I can't say it's usual. It depends on the story. But with this one, I did flashbacks because with Jane not being, she doesn't talk really. I wanted you to care about her, and it was hard to do when she was kind of catatonic and in a bed. And I mean, she's awake, but you know what I mean? Like, she's not very present in the situation. So I did a lot of backstory, like flashbacks to show you what Jane was like before so that you would realize how different she is now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you use the setting, like the environment in Disappear, to amplify the suspense?
So I was doing a thing on TikTok where audiobook narrators read scenes from books, and I gave them one of the scenes to read, and it was set after the incident, the disappearing incident. They take the box down to Dustin's basement, so it's living in his basement where he's dealing with it. And one of the narrators said, the basement is kind of its own character, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, I guess it is. I didn't think of it that way, but it really is. Like the police station, the hospital, the basement, the magic shop, they're all kind of their own characters in a way. But yeah, the basement plays a big role in the book, interestingly enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I can't wait. It sounds so good.
I'm glad.
So what is the most important piece of physical or psychological details you develop for the main character?
So Dustin, let's see. So Dustin's kind of nerdy cool. So like, people think he's cool because he's popular as a magician, but he's a magician, so I don't know. And I love magicians, but let's be honest, little nerdy. They're a little nerdy, right? So that's kind of his thing, is that people like him. Obviously, he has a great personality to be able to get up on a stage and do what he does and pull people into that. But to still give him that little bit of a nerdy, geeky side is fun too. Because that's me. Nerdy and geeky. Yeah.
So if you had a conversation with one of the characters from your book, who would it be? And what would you say?
I think I'd have to, oh gosh, I don't know. Like Mr. Marvel. I like Mr. Marvel. He's really funny, so I'd probably like to talk to him. We could talk about magic. I'd be like, tell me how to do all the tricks, but don't. Just do all the tricks. I just want to watch.
So these are questions about your future, like projects and plans you have going on. So now that the book Disappear is already out, what is your next project? Like, what are you working on? Because I know you do, what do you call it? Don't tell me, because I have it. Audiobook readings, right? Is that what it's called?
Audiobook, yeah. I'm also an audiobook narrator, correct?
Yes.
Which we're hanging out in my booth right now. That's why I have these lovely panels on the wall. So, yeah, gosh, in the audiobook world, I have been doing that for 6 years. 6 years? Yeah. 2019 was the first year I started in audiobooks. And I wrote my first book in what year are we? See, I can't. This is hard because we just
2026.
Okay, it was 2024. I wrote my first book, so I've been doing audiobook narration forever. So I do always say to people, look, when you're looking my name up, just realize that a bunch of books are going to come up. They're not all written by me. And I record everything, so I don't have a block on what I record, and I have done some pretty risque books, so just understand, and super scary books too. So like, if you're looking for something for your young child to read, don't always just assume that if it has my name on it, it's going to be, read the description. What was the point? Oh, what do we do? What's next? So with audiobooks, I'm finishing up one that I wasn't able to finish at the end of last year because I got sick. And once your voice goes out, you can't record. But that one is it's the Elvis Presley Mysteries. So it's about a black cat who talks like Elvis Presley.
Wow.
And it's a really cute series. It's by Sea Love. Super cute. And this is the third book in that series. And then I have a new one coming up. Oh, and I don't have the author's name in front of me. It's called The Night Crew. That one's coming up. I'm doing that through Crystal Lake Publishing. So that one's going to be really exciting. It's vampires. I love vampires. I have a bunch of stuff, audiobooks coming up next year. As far as writing goes, I am going to write my first series. It's a shared universe series. So it's not, not same characters it's same area, same town, different bad guys each book and different main characters each book, but maybe characters that interact throughout. And it is all going to be holiday-based horror. So the first one is a Valentine's Day horror book. It is called Two of Hearts. We're at the almost to the point of being able to send it to my alpha reader. We will see. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. We'll see. And then I already talked to my betas. They're ready to go. So we'll send that out. And hopefully that'll be out February 1st or close to Valentine's Day. And then I have an Easter, a 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. I'm going to try to do all those this year. Wish me luck.
Ooh, yeah. I'll be looking out for them too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I already wrote the Thanksgiving one because I wrote it last year hoping to put it out on Thanksgiving, but I missed the day. So I was like, you know what, I'll save it for next year. And then I thought, oh, wait, I should do a whole series of holiday horror. So that's where that came from. Thanksgiving's already done. Valentine's is almost done. And I have the idea for almost all of the other ones.
Ooh, yeah. Holiday horror.
Holiday horror. But I was like, no, we need more Valentine's Day, Easter. Like, what's an Easter horror? We need more of that, Yeah. So I was like, that'll be fun to write. Not many people do those.
Because I haven't really read or watched anything horror based on Easter.
I feel like, I know there's some out there, there's got to be something, a killer bunny of some kind, but probably, I don't know. I'm sure I'll go find something to watch, right?
I know there's a bunch of Christmas ones. I know that.
Tons of Christmas. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And Halloween, that's the other one. And I'm trying to figure out, the hard part that I'm having is I'm trying to figure out how not to make them obvious. Like the Easter one is not about, it's not going to be about the Easter bunny. It's about aliens. I can tell you that. That's not going to be a surprise. Ooh. It'll be about aliens. 4th of July is going to be zombies. I have Christmas. I'm still Thanksgiving. Well, I can't give Thanksgiving away yet because I'm not sure how much I want to give away on that one. And then Halloween. See, like, there's another one. I don't want it to be a typical Halloween story. So what do you do? What do you do for Halloween that's not typical? So that's kind of the stuff I'm trying to figure out with this one.
Ooh, I like your ideas.
Thanks. Oh, and I have 2 children's books. So children's books, that was a new one. Last year I wrote 2 children's books. Here I have one here. I don't have the other one yet. But Susie Sasquatch and the Sunflower Squad. Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
And I have 2 more of those coming out this year. So, just a few projects, a few things going on.
Man, that's a lot. That's a whole lot.
But you're right.
Sleep. You're right. When you look up your name, nothing but a bunch of like the books that you read come up. Like
right.
very rare of your books. So
Right.
you have to actually like go on your website to look.
Right. And if you look at, even when you look at Goodreads, luckily my books do, most of them show up on the first page, but they're at the bottom of the list. So you have to go and then they're there. And it's like, okay, just make sure it has my name on the front cover. And not just saying read by or performed by. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I do some extreme horror books, and extreme horror holds no punches. Like, it's extreme. So please don't grab an extreme book and think that you're going to get something light and happy. Because
Man.
nope. Yeah.
So who are a few of your favorite horror authors?
In horror, I'll read just about anybody. I like to look at I get drawn in by the cover, and then of course, what's the story about? But Stephen King, of course.
Yeah.
I like Christopher Pike, R.L. Stine. I read R.L. Stine. And then in the independent world, one of my favorites, this is very, I've recorded a ton of books for her, so it's probably, a little bit, I have a little bit of, yeah. But Judith Sonnet, I think she's amazing. She writes amazing books. So, and I haven't recorded all of her books. I've read not all of her books, but a lot of her books. And I just love her so much. So, and she's a great person. So that's good too. But yeah.
So her books are horror?
Yeah, horror. Yeah. And she used to write extreme, but she's gotten away from that. And now she's writing a lot more quiet horror and cosmic horror and stuff like that. And she's just such an amazing writer. So I love that she's expanding her catalog, and yeah, check her out. Judith Sonnet. She's amazing.
Nice.
And I could go on. There's so many. And but I try to support independent authors as well, So I don't know. Just go support authors.
Yeah, definitely. Because I have a whole bunch of lists on my Kindle. I've been reading a lot. I'll stay up late for 8 hours reading books. And my mom is like, 8 hours? And I'm like, yeah, a whole work day.
Yeah, I've been trying to read more personally because I read for work. I read so much for work, and not just because of writing, but as an audiobook narrator, I'm constantly reading books, and, but yeah, I've been trying to get better about reading outside of work. So I used to read a ton, and then, I started doing audiobooks, and it's a lot of work to do one audiobook is a lot of work. And so, yeah, I'm working on it. Better about it. Getting back to it.
So as a writer yourself, are you more of a plotter or an outliner or something like that? Like, how do you?
I'm pantser. 100%. Sometimes I know where the ending's going, but it doesn't always end up there. Speaking of the alien plot, so the second book I wrote was called Arts and Crafts, and the point, like when I started it, the whole thing was going to be about aliens and coming over and taking over humans, their bodies. It turned out to be about witchcraft. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. But the book said, this is what I am, write me. And I was like, okay. So yeah, I am really bad at plotting. I just I'll get the idea. I have the basic idea. I have the basic kind of main characters. And then it's like, oh, even I surprise myself most of the time. Like, oh, that's what's going to happen? Cool. Okay.
I'm just excited for your new series. Like,
it's going to be fun. It's Two of Hearts, the one that I'm working on right now. There is so much that happened in that one. I had no clue where it was all going. I knew I wanted it to be about a Valentine's Day dance, and I wanted there to be twins involved in some way. And that really was all I had. And then it became a book with a plot beyond all these characters that I didn't know. It's very exciting. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm excited. And you said it should be out in February?
February. Yeah, hopefully. I'm shooting for February 1st, but a lot of things have to happen for that to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. That's my plan. But definitely before Valentine's Day.
So what's the most surprising thing you discovered about yourself while writing, like your new series books that's coming up?
Probably that even when I'm writing horror, I still try to throw some fun stuff in there. I don't know. I always thought, oh, when I sit, because I love horror. I love horror movies, books, video games, like anything horror, I'm all about it. And I have been for a long time in my life. And I thought, well, I'm going to start writing these books and I'm going to make them really scary. And then it was like, I'm not saying that I don't try to make them scary, but there's always like a bit of silliness happening in them. And I think with this new series, it's not that they're funny, like they're not comedies, but I do think my husband, he read the Thanksgiving one and he said, it's like it's a lighthearted comedy. I mean, a lighthearted horror. And I was like, yeah, obviously, lighthearted horror. That's something that a lot of, like, I don't even know what that means, but okay. But yeah, I guess, like, I can't help myself from throwing the comedy in there when I can. So, yeah.
Man, so people are going to be scared and laughing.
Hopefully, yeah. Just having a good time. Like, oh, it's horror, but it's fun, you know?
So, where can my listeners find your books at? Like, what sources?
So, Amazon, of course, is the big one. I'm working on getting my paperbacks, at least, in wide distribution. So you can find the children's books are wide distribution. So those are Barnes and Noble, all of those places. I'm trying to get them into bigger bookstores, things like that. So, but yeah, Amazon's the big place. And of course you can go to my website, daniellemuething.com, and everything's posted there. So you can find everything there. Yeah.
Okay. And my last and final question for you, what advice would you give, like, people that's starting out with writing their very first horror novel or book?
Or book in general?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, and this is hard to do, don't get me wrong, but try to write every day. And even if what you're writing isn't turning into something, like you think, oh, this isn't going anywhere or whatever, write anyway. Just kind of keep writing. You have to kind of set a routine, because if you don't, you can easily just say, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. And then it's 5 years later and you still don't have a book. And that's not,
yeah.
That's normal. That happens to a lot of people, especially with their first book. It takes a long time because you overthink everything. And I was there. I did it too. What I learned now is that I try to get that first draft done as quickly as possible, because it doesn't matter. The first draft doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it unless you give it to somebody. And you're basically, all I'm doing is trying to write the story, the bare bones of the story, which I guess people could call outlining, but, but you want to write the story. Then you can go back and on the sentence that's like, I opened the door, you can make it something cooler, like, the door flung out of my hand and ghosts came in and took over my body, So it doesn't have to be beautiful, your first draft, but get it done. Like, just write it, and then you can go back and make it beautiful. But try to write every day. I think that's the big thing. Okay. Once you get into that routine, it's going to be easy. You're going to be like, oh, writing is easy. No, you'll never say that. You'll never say. Or I haven't yet. We'll see. Maybe someday.
I want to thank you so much, Danielle, for being a guest on my podcast today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. First podcast of the year.
All right.
2026.
You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.